Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Politics on AIG Media Pro TV. I am Adeyinka Egbinoba. The days are fast approaching and we have over 40 contestants vying for the position of the governor of Lagos State. So in the studio today we have a very dynamic woman, Princess Adebisi Ogunsanya, who is also vying for the position of the governor of Lagos State. She's an aspirant, or she's a candidate from the Young Progressive Party. Welcome to the studio, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. I looked at your policy document. I read everything in through, and I can see you have a background in banking and finance, business administration, and looking at the history of Lagos, having it cling to just one political party, be it from AD to AC to now APC, and with what is going on where they think Lagos State is a Dubai of Nigeria, some will say everything is working in Lagos. So the question is, why do we have over 40 candidates vying for one position in a state where some people think everything is going on well? So if I may ask you, ma'am, what is Princess Ogunsanya Adebisi going to do differently from what we have?
Thank you very much for your question. Lagos is the mega city of Nigeria. It's supposed to be working well, but it's not working well. My position when I become, by God's grace, the governor of Lagos State will stem from a situation that I've classified as my 4 E's, which is my manifesto. And it has to start with looking after the teeming population of Lagos who are hungry, homeless, out to get jobs, and the jobs are not there. We're going to start by educating Lagosians, and the education is going to start from the toddlers, the preschool children, which is not a Lagos State government program, up to children of school age, primary, secondary, tertiary institutions. It's going to also stem into adult education. It's going to stem into continue e-learning education, because the whole world has become a global village with computers, and it is either you're able to fit into it or you are left on your own. The second thing I'm going to do is to ensure that I create avenue to sustain innovation and creativity that will come out of the education that will go round the board, that will go right across the people. Because education does not only give you the academic position of knowing about things, it also enables you to create, it enables you to innovate, and it enables you to invent. So from the second E, creating innovation and inventions, my government is going to provide the necessary infrastructure that is going to enable the creativity and the innovations to work. The infrastructure stems from electricity, which is the brain, behind most things that needs to be done. We need to generate electricity for Lagos, especially the Lagos hub and the industrial areas.
If I may come in there, how do you intend to generate electricity for Lagosians?
We're going to use every available instrument. We're going to build mini grids. We're going to power electricity through gas. Lagos is an aquatic state. We're going to ensure that we use wind provision. We're going to use solar every available means, because I don't see why Lagos and also Nigeria is being kept in darkness. It has been the bane of our underdevelopment, and it is not an impossible task. It's a task that can be done quickly and spontaneously too. I've seen that it's been made a political thing, and that's why Lagos has been prevented for a long time from generating its own electricity. Some states in this nation have asked, especially the oil producing states, have asked the investors who are into their oil rigs to ensure that they power their states, and it's working. It's working in other states. It's working in Ebonyi. It's working in Cross River. It's working in Bayelsa. So I don't see why it cannot work in Lagos. It's been it's like an oppressive stance, drawing Lagos back to prevent us from generating our own electricity, and it's not going to happen again. Because even in Egmi, down there close to Baiku, there is a thermal mill that is generating light that can carry Lagos, but the light is being used up country, and there's no cost for it because there are water. There is River Niger, there is Benue, there is Kainji, there are all kinds of water that can be powered up there. I don't see why Lagos should be subjected further to not being, electrified, and preventing the industries from growing. Because the money it takes to run electricity for industries are no small money, and it's adding to cost of production, which is making our industries highly uncompetitive, thereby giving room to importation of things that should be done here that could generate businesses and work for our people. I'm going to ensure that the opportunity of Lagos being surrounded by water is exploited to the fullest by providing water transportation that will ease, means of doing business. We're going to make sure that the roads are free and functional. My government will ensure that trams, they are the easiest railroad that can be done, because they can be used on the same rail line even with the BRT buses. That trams are established that could take so many people, because it depends on how many coaches will be in the train, to convey people on time to work with less stress, and then convey them back. We're going to ensure that the blue rail line, which is supposed to be coming from the Benin Republic into Nigeria, is completed. We are going to provide all amenities that will harness production, employment, productivity, increase the IGR, and make the people happy. The third E is going to be empowering the people.
That's actually where I'm going to, because I read your manifesto and I saw that the third E is empowerment.
Yes.
Now, we need to know what you mean by empowerment, because the electorate, with what is going on in the country or with what is going on in the state, what they understand by empowerment is, give me money, I will vote for you. So, what do you mean when you say empowerment?
Thank you very much. Empowerment, in terms of my manifesto, is not giving the people fish. It's taking them to the river and showing them how to fish. The present empowerment is nothing but vote buying, and it's done to confuse the people. And that's why when the people are educated, when they are enlightened, when they know what you have in plan, when they know what my government has in plan for them, they'll be glad to follow up with us. Empowerment in terms of small and medium scale businesses, in terms of cottage industries, being given opportunity to have low interest rate facilities, And with infrastructures provided, they will be able to do their business with less hassle, employ people, and expand where necessary, because we are going to ensure that the Ministry of Industries go forward. We're going to come out with policy information, with policy papers that will go to the various manufacturing groups about opportunities they have in their production, for exports, for requests outside the country, to expand their businesses, and we are going to assist them.
We need to put you on the pause right there. You're watching Let's Talk Politics on AIG Media Pro, and we have Princess Adebisi Ogunsanya. Please stay with us. Welcome back. This is Let's Talk Politics on AIG Media Pro, and I am Adeyinka Egbenoba. So we've been having this interesting discussion with the governorship candidates of the Young Progressive Party, Princess Adebisi Ogunsanya. Ma'am, you seem to have everything planned out on how you want to govern almost 20 million people. But looking at your party is a new party, and there's an existing status quo. So take, for instance, come June 12 this year, or let's say come March, you are elected. With all you have planned, how do you intend to achieve all this, knowing fully well that it's not going to be your decision alone? We have the parliament to deal with.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm aware that we have the House of Assembly in the state, but the purpose of the House is to enact bills that will propagate the betterment of Lagosians and also put the government in good stead. So when we enact these bills, I'm sure with proper evaluation and carrying the people along, we will not have a problem with the House in approving them. As the chief executive of the state, the programs that my party has, which are contained also in my manifesto, are meant to improve the lives of the citizen, project the state and put it in the position that it belongs to in the Committee of Nations. And it will go a long way, like I said, to lay down a proper foundation that will be needed, that generations to come can depend on to build an egalitarian society for the state.
Okay, ma'am, looking at your party, Young Progressive Party, and with the recent Not Too Young to Run bill that was passed. Now, when we say Young Progressive Party and looking at you, how young?
Actually, I'm very young at heart, and age is a relative thing. And talking seriously, I think some of us came earlier than our time, and that's why we can see that the country is not going in the way, and the state is not going in the way it should go. And that's what has brought me into the position of seeking the governorship of the state, so that a proper foundation can be laid with sustainability, because the existing foundation are wobbling.
Okay, man, looking at politics and money. Politics is huge money, and we are concerned. I'm sure the viewers are concerned. Where is your funding coming from?
Politics in Nigeria, and especially in Lagos, has become a dumbfounding situation. People virtually ask you, what have you got in this for us? We want it now. They're not thinking of the future. The future matters, because the future belongs to our youths, and our youths are our tomorrow. It's been challenging, but people who believed in what we've done in the past people who believe in contributions we've made to their lives, who are close, because your biological children are not only your children. As a good mother, you will have other children around you. They have been the one that has been helping in funding our campaigns, and I'm so grateful to them, because they have a belief that they have things that they can learn from us, and they believe that we will plan a better tomorrow for them. So our campaign funds has been private. We don't have a godfather. We only have the God of all nations. So that has been the funding. That has been the source of our funding.
Okay, now let's look at Lagos as a whole. Most times, especially when you are outside Lagos, when you say Lagos, a lot of things comes to mind. Fine, is a mega city, but there's something we can detach or remove from Lagos, which is Togri, which some people know as Agbero. There was a time Fashola tried to reduce it, and now they are coming back gradually. And the truth is, some political class actually make use of this Togri. So if you assume office, what will be your stand on Togri in Lagos?
If I become the governor of Lagos State, by God's grace, I have plans for everybody. A lot of these young men, and incredibly you find some women among them, even though they're not many, you can see that they're acting from the influence of many things that they take, which is not good for them. They can cause sporadic disruptions at, within whiskers. And by the time you turn back, lives have been lost. Those are part of the things that worries me and makes me think we need to teach this upcoming generation the way to go. Because there's no future in Togri. I tell them, you have the energy to create all these problems. Very soon, you'll be growing old. What do you bequeath to your children? I've had opportunity to talk to some of them. My government is going to garnish together these individuals. We are going to reorientate them. We have plans for them. We are going to make sure that they become good citizens in the state. So Togri will become a thing of the past. When we were growing up, when a child is becoming uncontrollable and too tough, then the life of a child is the life of everybody, of the neighborhood. What they usually say is, take this child into the army. There they will teach him how to behave. And I tell you sincerely, by the time they go into the army, they go into the police, they come back being sober. But this time around, because there are some personalities who are fueling them and who have identified themselves as their godfather, and they seem to be in the reign of power, it has made the exercise like it's very lucrative to them. Even though some of them die, they die untimely. We are going to make sure that all that stops. No mother has a child. I want them to be Agbero or area boys. So as much as possible, we have a good plan. We're going to rehabilitate a lot of them. We're going to retrain them in their areas of interest. We're going to empower them, give them soft loan to start businesses. We're going to turn them to children that their children can be proud of. So that when they ask, what job does your father do, you won't say, my father is an Agbero
area boy. Okay, quickly and finally, Ma, you talked about empowering, you talked about SME, small and medium enterprise. Yes. And one of the major challenges now that they are facing is tax. What is your government going to do? Are you comfortable with the level of taxation now, or you are going to increase, decrease, or leave it at what it is?
Actually, in fairness to the government at the center, it's just that implementation were not being effected. there is what the federal government classified as sectorial lending sectors. It shows some priorities area and the less priorities area. With small and medium scale businesses, the provision is there by the CBN. There are allocations of money that must come from a bank's portfolio to be lent to them, and at an interest rate that is reduced. If I become the governor of Lagos State, I'm going to make sure that the banks that serves us in Lagos State comply with our SMEs and medium scale enterprises. Banks just keep those things because they decided to lend money to where they could have quick returns and high interest rates. Those aspects of central bank activities are going to be enforced.
Thank you very much, Ma. We are very grateful for having you. We've come to the end of today's edition. That is Mrs. Princess Adebisi Ogunsanya, the governorship candidate of the Young Progressive Party for Lagos. And you're watching Let's Talk Politics on AIG Media Pro. I'm Adeyinka Epenoba. Please join us next time. Bye-bye.